Hey guys, it's Charm Incantation, and today we're going to be doing an interactive palm reading. So basically how this is going to work, we are going to look at the heart line, the headline, and the lifeline. I'm going to show you guys on my palm which lines those are, and I'm going to put up pictures on the wall to show you guys the different types for each line. When we're looking at the pictures, I will put timestamps for each picture, and whichever picture looks most like the line on your hand, you can fast forward to that timestamp. The timestamps for the heart line, the headline, and the lifeline will be in the description box, so once you've looked at, say, your heart line, you can skip on to the headline and then to the lifeline. So I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but if it doesn't, hopefully as you watch the video, you will start to get it and we'll have a lot of fun. So we're gonna get started. Okay, so when we are looking at your palm here, make sure you are reading from your right hand. So there are multiple lines on your hand. When we look at this one here, this is the heart line. This line right here should be the first line. Then this line right here is your headline. This line right here. And then this last line is your lifeline. It should extend downwards. So your heart line is based on your relationships and how you interact with others. Your headline is based on your intellect, memory, and your ability to think. And your lifeline is based on your life energy and the quality of life you're going to have. Okay, so we are going to be starting with the heart line here, and we are going to be looking at the size of the heart line. So there are 3 different sizes. You can either have a short heart line, which extends from the end of the palm to the ring finger. You can have a medium length heart line, which extends from the end of the palm to either the middle finger or in between the middle finger and the index finger. And then there is the long heart line, which extends from one end of the palm all the way to the other end. So there are timestamps matched with each of these pictures, and you guys can fast forward to the one that looks most like yours. And we are going to get started with the short heart line. Okay, so if you have the short heart line, I'm pretty sure this heart line is pretty rare, but some people do have it, and I don't want to make you guys feel bad or anything, but it's probably the worst heart line length to have. If you have a short heart line, you're usually very ruthless, very self-centered. You easily get lonely because you have a tough time expressing your feelings to others. People with short heart lines usually tend to act without thinking. Their love life tends to not be very smooth. It tends to be very rocky because they have such trouble telling others how they feel, either because they just feel insecure or because they just don't feel comfortable doing that. They're also very into themselves and very self-absorbed, which leads them to kind of live a lonelier life. This is a rare heart line, but some people do have it, and it's just very into yourself, and it leads to a lot of loneliness, and love is just not easy for those with a short heart line. Okay, so if you have a medium length heart line, this is a very good heart line length to have. So people with this heart line, they usually find true love in life. Whether that is multiple true loves or just one true love, any kind of true love, they find it in their life. They have abundance in love, and there is usually lots of love around them, and they have lots of love within them. The only thing with people with this length of heart line, they have very, very high expectations, and they have very dreamy-like fantasies about love. But those dream-like fantasies for this length heart-lined people usually come true. And they do have very, very high expectations in love, though, which could lead them to kind of pass up on people that could have been great for them, but their expectations are just too high. So there's good and bad to having the high expectations, but overall, you guys, this is a great heart line length to have, and you will have abundance in love and definitely find true love. Either you have already found true love or you will in the future. Okay, so as you guys probably guessed, the long heart line is the people that love the hardest. But these are also the people that get hurt the worst. When these people with long heart lines get hurt, they get seriously hurt in love. Because people with long heart lines, they tend to give 100% in their relationship. They give everything. They give it all. They give their partner the best that they can possibly give their partner. These people with long heart lines, you guys would rather break than bend. And you guys are very honest, very faithful people. You guys are the biggest lovers of all three lengths of the heart line. The only thing with this is, yes, you guys do get very hurt very easily because you give so much, possibly to the wrong people sometimes, and that causes you to get really hurt. But you guys are very honest, very faithful, very loyal, good-hearted people. So next for the heart line, we are going to be looking at the shape. So there are three shapes that you could possibly have. There is curved upwards, curved downwards, and straight. So there are timestamps for each of these below them, and you can choose which one looks most like yours. And we are going to get started with curved up. Okay, so if you have a heart line that is curved up, you guys really know how to use your words. You guys are charmers, you guys are clever, you know what to say and what is going to get your love interest going. You guys always have the perfect comebacks, you always know what to say in certain situations. You know how to smooth talk really well. And this is how you usually win over your love interest, by just knowing exactly what to say at the right time. You guys also usually have multiple love interests and loves in your life because you guys, in a sense, you guys like the chase. You like the clever conversation, and that is what you're good at. And because of that, you tend to have multiple partners in life. Okay, so if your heart line curves downwards, you guys are the type of people that don't have an overly bold or overly distinctive personality. You guys are the opposite of the people who curve up. You do not like the chase. You do not like expressing your feelings at all, and you aren't particularly good at it either. You guys tend to have a lot of issues in your relationships because you are not the best at communicating or telling others how you feel. And your personality is not over the top in love or crazy. You are very passive and not a bold or loud personality. So those of you with a straight heart line are very conservative and stable in love. You guys have a good head on your shoulders when it comes to love. People with the straight heart line tend to be usually shyer in love, but these people are the ones that usually find a very stable, calm, harmonious, love-filled marriage. And you guys are the ones that usually find a stable, harmonious, love-filled marriage, and it's just very conservative in love. It's not that you can't express your feelings, you're just shy. You're kind of like, I don't know if I should, kind of. Not a, I can't. It's a more shyer kind of. But you guys do express your feelings as well, obviously, but you're just very conservative about it. Okay, so we are on to the headline. So first we're going to start by looking at the length of the headline, or the size of the headline. So there is a short headline, which extends from the edge of the palm to about the middle finger. There is the medium headline, which extends from the edge of the palm to about the ring finger. And then there is the long headline, which extends from the edge of the palm to the pinky. So there is timestamps for each of these, and you guys can fast forward to the one that looks most like your headline. So if you're someone who has a short headline, you are the type of person who is always in a rush. You guys are also kind of slow to respond. You're very indecisive. You guys are very indecisive, very impulsive, and almost careless. So you guys, it almost seems like you guys just aren't even thinking sometimes. So yeah, you guys are very all over the place type of people, and very impulsive. If you want to do something, you just do it without even thinking about it. and you guys have a lot of trouble making decisions as well. If your headline is a medium length headline, you guys are generally very smart people. Some of you may even be considered or have been told that you are a brilliant person. This is actually the most common length of headline, and these people are very clever and just generally pretty smart, and you pick up on things quite easily. You are not over the top smart, though some are considered brilliant, but you're not like can't understand anything or something, but you're generally very, very smart people, and you guys are very clever as well in the things that you do and with the things that you say. So if you guys have a long sized headline, you guys are more considerate than most people. You understand people more than most people. You guys have a very, very clear mind, and you are very clear thinkers in general. But one thing about those who have a long headline, they tend to overthink everything and overanalyze everything to the point where it drives them insane, and they lose focus of what they were trying to focus on to begin with. They are very analytic, and they just pick through everything and look at everything, overanalyze, overthink, and yeah, it kind of drives them crazy sometimes. But they are very, very smart people and very critical and analytic, and they're like people watchers in a sense, and they're very, very intelligent people as well. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at about the headline is the depth of the curve. So your headline will curve downwards, but it depends how much it is curving. So some people will have the straight headline, others will have a small curved downwards headline, and others will have a very deep slanted headline. So you guys can look at the pictures, see which one looks most like yours, and there are timestamps, and you can fast forward, and we're going to get started with the straight headline. Okay, so if you're one of the people that have a straight headline, you are very practical, analytical, and very decisive. You know what you want to do, you are very focused, and you just always have a plan. You know what to do, you know what you want, and very decisive. Your best careers, if you have a straight headline, would be a career in either mathematics, science, or technology, or computers. So if you have a slightly curved headline, you are very gentle, very tolerant, very realistic. You think logically, and you have your plans logically. You don't fantasize about something absolutely ridiculous that you know would never happen. You are very gentle with others, and you have a high tolerance for basically annoying people and just ridiculous people. You have a high tolerance for that because you also have very strong interpersonal skills. You're very good with other people. So the best careers for the people with the medium length headline are literature, psychology, and social media. Okay, so if you have a very, very deeply downward curved headline, you are the type of people that are the dreamers. You are very imaginative and highly creative. You like to work with your hands. You are very just imaginative. You dream up of these crazy ideas, and everything you do has a creative element to it. You are not the type of person who can sit down and do a bunch of math tests and be like, wow, that was a lot of fun. You are the type of person that wants to make something. You guys are the creators, the creative people. So your best careers would be something with poetry, with painting, or with drawing. So painter, poet, and writer. Okay, so then we also have the lifeline for the last one. For the lifeline, it doesn't mean how long you are going to live. It is just your life energy and the quality of life that you will live. So if you have had like a very short lifeline or a really messy lifeline, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to live a short life. It's all about the quality of life and the life energy that you have. So there are three different types. So there are three different types of the lifelines here. So you can have very thick swooped lifeline. You can have it swooped but very close to the thumb. And then you can have a double lifeline. So there are timestamps for each of these, and you guys can fast forward to the one that looks most like yours. And I'm going to get started with the very thick swooped lifeline. So if you have the very thick swooping lifeline, this means you are very good at sports or you play a lot of sports, and you have a life full of physical labor. So you have a lot of physical things going on in your life. You are very energetic and you have a lot of energy in general. You like to do a lot of things, and you don't get tired easily. You have lots of energy to go do what you want to do, and you're very physically strong and very good health for this type of lifeline. Okay, so if your lifeline is still swooped but closer to the thumb, you guys have not a lot of energy. You guys get tired easily. You just feel very drowsy a lot of the time. You don't like to do a lot of physical things. You like to more calmer activities that don't require a lot of physical kind of movements. And you guys just, in general, have lower energied kind of people, as opposed to the people with the very thick swooping lifeline. This one is the opposite. These ones are very tired, where the thick swoop ones have a lot of energy. And this group has very limited energy, and they tire very easily. They get very fatigued, things like that. So if you guys find yourself having a double lifeline, make sure to look very closely, because you guys might not notice that you have this, but you do, because it could be a very faint one or it could be very deep. But people with the double lifeline have an insane amount of energy. They are go, go, go. They want to do stuff. They have a ton of energy, and they want to live their life. These people with the double lifeline are very lucky. They have a great ability for self-recovery, and they have an amazing resistance to disease than most people do. So they can get sick and recover in like a day, where maybe someone else they knew took a week to recover. And they're very resistant to disease, so maybe they touch something, but they still don't get the disease where someone else would. They're just very full of energy, very healthy, strong, high resistance to disease and injury type of people. So this is an amazing lifeline to have if you are lucky enough to be a double lifelined person. Also, some of these are pretty rare, but some of you guys may have some extra features on your lifeline. So there is the island, the chained, and the broken lifeline. So if you guys find yourself having one of these, then there are timestamps down below, and you guys can go to that timestamp and figure out what that means. So we are going to get started with the meaning of the island. So if you guys have an island, don't be alarmed by this. It does mean that you are going to have a certain injury in your life, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it is something horrible. It could be a very minor injury. People get injured all the time. You could just break an arm. It's some sort of injury in your life. The island itself, however long the island is on your line, indicates how long this injury is going to last. So if you have a very small island, this is most likely a very small injury that is nothing to be worried about. If you have a very long, large island, this could be something more major that's going to happen in your life. And if you look at where the island is, if it's more towards the beginning, that means this is something that's going to happen either from when you are born till your 30s. If it's more towards the middle and the end, this is something that's going to happen from your late 30s to the end of your life, an injury within that time period. So if you have a chained lifeline, this lifeline is very, very rare to have. But if you have a full chained lifeline, this means that you are most likely to have lower health in general in life, and you are probably born with low health. Also, it could indicate problems with the digestive system, but overall just not very high quality of health throughout your life. So this is very, very rare to have. If there is a break in your lifeline, this one is pretty common, I think, but if there is a break in your lifeline, this indicates that there is going to be either an accident or a sudden danger in your life, or a disease. This could be something minor. Again, it all depends on how large the gap is. So if you have a very small break, this is probably something very minor, a small accident, a small sickness. But if you have a larger break in your lifeline, this could be something more major. But overall, it just indicates some sort of danger or accident or disease that's going to happen in your life. And if it is towards the beginning of your lifeline, then this is going to happen towards the beginning of your life. And if it is more towards the end of your lifeline, this is going to be happening at the end of your life. But again, it is nothing to be alarmed of. It could be something minor or something big. It all depends. So the only thing that would really indicate a short life is if you have absolutely no lifeline. This indicates very poor health, a very poor quality of life, and possibly a very short life in general. This is very, very rare. Most people do have lifelines, but if you do not have a lifeline, that is the only thing that does indicate a shorter life than most. So that is all for the lifelines. This was a very brief palm reading. I may do a more in-depth one if you guys want to see more of that. I also really appreciate your guys' comments and you liking the videos. I love your comments. I read all of them and I find them so sweet, and I'm loving how you guys are reacting to the pick a card videos. So yeah, if there's anything you guys want to see in regards to the pick a card videos or other content, just let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys would like to see from me. And I hope you guys enjoyed this interactive palm reading. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you guys in my next video.